Erev Tov, y'all. My name is Elias Chajet. I'm a JCJ Seminary Fellow. And with me this evening, I have my amazing fiance, Michelle Blumenthal, behind the camera. Who's going to be helping me out. Tonight, we're gonna learn an amazing, fast, 18-minute method to making matzah. I know we're kind of getting a little antsy, so this is something that we could do to get ready for Pesach. But before we start making our matzah, we need to get a couple things ready to go. First, we gotta turn to our oven, set our oven to 475. Sorry, it doesn't say 475, but trust me, it's at 475. And in your oven, as it's heating up, you're gonna want to take a baking sheet wrapped in tinfoil and let it heat up with the oven. We want the bottom surface to be just as hot as the rest of the oven as we put the matzah in. Then come on over here, Michelle. We need 1 cup of flour, 1/3 cup of water, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, a big bowl to mix it all up in, and a rolling pin, which we don't have, so we are going to be using a bottle of wine and maybe even opening it later for an end of the evening cool down. So once you have all your materials together, you can go ahead and take your flour and put it in your big mixing bowl. And you're going to take your third cup measuring cup to get some water and pour it in the mixing bowl. Then we're going to get 1/2 teaspoon of our kosher salt. I like things a little extra salty, so I may do a little bit more. Just a pinch more salt. And then 1 teaspoon of olive oil. I'm a big fan of Evo, but y'all can use whatever type of oil that you would like. So then after we put all of our things into our big mixing bowl, here comes the fun part. And Michelle's going to help me out with this and is going to come over here and mix this all together and get real messy.
With my hands?
With your hands. It's more fun to do it with your hands. Coming together nicely. It's starting to stick together, turn into more of a doughy substance. If it's still a little too flaky, you can just add a little bit more water to help yourself out, which we're going to do right now, just for a quick little spritz. Spritz. And we're back.
Much better.
There we go. And we're good. Now that we have our dough ready, we're going to prep our rolling area. We'll be right back with you. Y'all, we're back. Now we've gotten our rolling space all ready to go. We put some flour down first to make sure our dough doesn't stick, and we're going to take some of that flour and apply it to our rolling pin or wine bottle, whatever you are using. Any can or cylindrical object really works as a rolling pin. Let's see some of the crazy things that you could use as a rolling pin before Pesach comes around. And we're just going to roll out our dough to a very, very thin consistency. Remember, this is a cracker. It's not a whole loaf of bread. We're not making delicious sourdough, but we're making another delicious treat that helps us remember the story of Passover and the journey from slavery to freedom that our ancestors all experienced. Let's see if I'm any good at this.
Looks great. It also doesn't need to be in any particular shape. If you want to make it into a shape, you can, but it can certainly be a little orb.
It could be an orb. And it kind of comes back to our
I just made that word up.
some more traditional matzahs are circles. And sometimes they're not perfect circles. They're just kind of blobby circle shapes. And that's totally fine. We often see them in squares, like regular crackers today. But whatever shape you make your matzah this Pesach, I'm sure it's going to be delicious and to make a great end to your Hillel sandwich.
That looks awesome. Look at that. Look at that.
What do you think, Michelle? You think it's thick? It's thin enough?
Let me
Keep
see.
going a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's great.
What'd you call it? I don't even know what to guess that at its height. But make it really thin. I wish I could be more helpful and give you a height, but make it real thin. Not so thin that you can
Rabbis
see.
aren't always good at math.
No, we're definitely not.
Or educators.
So once you have it to the approximately correct thinness, again, it's a big guesstimate, you're going to take some sort of device to cut our dough. This evening I'm going to be using our trusty pizza cutter. It's gotten us through many a pizza, and I'm sure that it can get us through some Pesach matzah as well. And you're going to cut this into whatever shape that you like your matzah to be in. Oop, our oven's ready. I'm going to do some squares. Are they going to be perfect? No. But are they going to taste delicious?
Yes.
Absolutely. Now that we have cut up our matzah, we are going to take trusty old fork. And we're going to take our fork and poke holes into the entirety of the matzah. Some people say you want to have about 25 different holes poked into your piece of matzah. I'm going to go with 18. Chai, it's a Jewish number. We all need a little bit of extra life right now, so we're going to stick with the trusty 18. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This one needs a couple more. I don't know, but it was the right amount. 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right, while he does
9,
that, we're going to take a
10,
little
11.
detour. Roxy just wanted to say hello. She's very excited about this matzah.
Roxy loves Passover. She really loves haroset. It's one of her favorite side dishes.
She also loves whoever it is that is cooking because she thinks something's going to fall and then she gets to eat it. Little does she know.
We know
Not
her
this
tricks.
time, Rox. Not this time. Coming along good. Look at that.
And one of the reasons that we poke
Look
holes
at it.
into our matzah is to make sure that it doesn't rise. We didn't use any rising agents like yeast because in our story the Israelites had to flee Egypt too quickly to let their bread rise. As one of the stories goes, it baked on their backs as they fled Egypt. And clearly it didn't rise, which is why we have this delicious, delicious cracker. So now that... Oh, I missed a column. Can't miss a column. They all need holes. We don't want rising matzah. All right. Now that our crackers have holes in them, our matzah has holes, we are ready to take out our baking sheet from the oven. Ooh, that's hot. To make sure our delicious matzah don't stick to the pan, we're going to spray it with a little bit of Pam. It wins every time. The way I was raised up, there's no such thing as too much Pam, especially when you're making dry matzah. So lather it on there. And after you've got your Pam on your baking sheet, you can go ahead and start placing your matzah. You want to give them a little bit of room so they don't bake into each other.
These look awesome. Look at that. Perfection.
And that's where we're going to stop for now. We're going to make that. Now that all of our matzah is on our baking sheet, we're going to carefully open our ovens, slide our matzah onto one of the top racks, close it up, and set our timer for 4 minutes. And then we're gonna sit and wait for our matzah to crisp up. And as we're sitting and waiting, we're gonna open up a bottle of wine and have a glass to end our evening. And we hope you can take this 4 minutes to enjoy time with your loved ones and your family or anybody who you might be with right now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see it.
Let's see what they look like. Oh my goodness.
Nice and crispy. Ooh, do you hear the sizzle?
Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.
Nice.
We're gonna let these cool down for a couple more minutes before we eat them. But in essence, that's how you make 18-minute matzah. I hope that all of you have a safe and healthy Pesach, however you may be celebrating. L'chaim.